Hi everyone, Dr. K here. I hope that you are all doing well, staying safe, and not too stressed out by everything that's going on. I decided to do a little video to go through our Blackboard page just to make sure everyone knew how to access everything that we are using right now, and just to kind of give you an update on where we are going from this point. So I'm going to flip my camera around here, hopefully. So this should be what you normally see when you enter Blackboard or something similar. You should see any new announcements that I have for you. Definitely check those daily to see if there's anything new. So right now we should be finishing up lecture unit 4, which are chapters 12 and 10. That material should have been finished up last week. The exam for that unit will be available next week and will need to be completed by April 10th, which is next Friday night. To access the lecture material, you want to go over to the content folder, and right now here is our updated course schedule, so definitely look at that. It has test dates, quiz dates, but right now lecture unit 4, if you click on that, it should take you to a checklist which you can look through to make sure that you have completed everything you should be doing for this unit. Your chapter outlines are in this folder here, and the keys, so you can check them. The actual lecture materials, so that means basically the PowerPoint slides, and when you open up the PowerPoints, the newer ones that have been posted since we started this remote learning, when you open them up, I'm just going to open one of them here. So when you open these and start to go through them, you should be able to read the notes at the bottom, and that's basically what I would be saying in class. Sometimes, depending on your screen, those notes might be tucked down, so you might need to move them up so you can read them. If you do want to print them out, when you go to print and you go to this full page slides, then select notes pages, and that'll allow you to print out the slide with the notes themselves if you weren't sure how to do that. So that's how to print those out. I'm going to flip back here. So that is all the material that I would normally do in lecture. I also have a picture that I drew of the steps of going through a nerve impulse and muscle contraction that I find helpful. So I'm going to go back to that lecture unit 4. So you also have your study guide, and then there's a bunch of videos that I would recommend viewing, including some memory device videos. There are application questions, and there is a discussion board, which I'll show you in a minute if you have questions about those. And then what our homework assignments are. Now you can submit these homework assignments just by emailing me, or you can submit them in the assignments folder. So if we go back over here, if we go to discussions, you will see there are some discussion boards where you can post questions. If you had a question for me, you would just hit create thread, and type your message, and I'll respond. And then your homework, you can submit if you go to assignments, quizzes, and tests and click on homework assignments. You can submit your homework this way. You can also submit your extra credit for the exam, your extra credit project, the details for the extra credit project. That's worth 15 points for the semester, is in this folder as well. This assignments, quizzes, and tests folder is also where you're going to be taking your quizzes, your practicals, and your exams. So if you click on lab quizzes, there are 2 quizzes available right now. The quiz over the axial muscles is due this Friday evening. This neuron dance quiz will be available until the end of the semester. Then we have our lab practical over osseous tissue, the axial skeleton and axial muscles. That's also due Friday. And then sometime the end of this week or by Monday of next week, I will have your lecture exam for Unit 4 posted up here as well. So what we're going to be working on next will be lecture Unit 5, and I'll probably move this folder up to the top tonight or tomorrow. But if you click on lecture Unit 5, this unit covers 3 chapters, and you'll see a similar checklist as the other lecture unit with similar folders. So everything that you need to do for this unit, you'll see in this list here. So that's where we should be starting now. I posted the materials for Chapter 13 this weekend, so you should be able to access Chapter 13's materials right now. For lab, you should be finishing up Block 2, that axial skeleton and muscles and osseous tissue, and taking the practical this week, and then starting lab practical Block 3, which is going to be muscle tissue as well as the appendicular skeleton and muscles. There's a little to-do list of all the steps you can complete to help you learn this material here. And then there's our Master Lab handout. So that's the checklist that has everything that you could be tested on for this unit in this handout. And then we've got these first 2 PowerPoint slides are labeled PowerPoint slides that go through the skeleton and the muscles. With the skeleton one, there's also some embedded YouTube links for videos where someone goes through each bone. These slides are actually images of the models that we would have looked at in lab, so they may or may not be very useful to you now. A video of Professor O'Malley going through the muscle fiber model. There will be images of a muscle fiber on your practical, and then videos of Dr. O'Malley going through the models of the leg and arm. And then this last PowerPoint, practice labeling, those are unlabeled slides that you can use to kind of quiz yourself. So you should be starting this unit now for lab. I'm still waiting to get information on whether or not we will be, we're supposed to be getting a sort of simulator for lab. So I'll let you guys know as soon as we have information on that. There are some apps, sorry about that. There are some apps I have been investigating. Sorry here. There are some apps I've been investigating, and I will post the best ones that I find to help you kind of get a little bit more of a 3-dimensional view of some of these images. One other thing, if you have the time, if you go into the content folder, there is a link for surveys, and I did put just a little survey on here about which way you prefer presentation of the lecture material. So if you have a chance and can do that, please let me know. As always, please let me know if you have any questions about any of the material. I usually respond to my email within 24 hours, if not within a couple hours. If you're having problems accessing any of the material online, if you are confused about what you're supposed to be doing, if your work schedule has changed unexpectedly and you need to talk to me about timing of things, then please let me know. I hope you are all hanging in there, and I will talk to you sometime in the future.